In the good dukedom there was a half-elf princess named Victoria, the first daughter of the duke who owned the land. When she found out that she was a half-elf, she defied the duke's prohibition and turned to magic. Victoria was born a genius, so in only 3 months she surpassed her magic instructor. She is even more proficient in magic than the magician of the royal family. 10 years later, Victoria sought out the continent's greatest wizard, the sage Artorias, to study magic. This sage led Victoria to meet the owner Mako, and it was she who wrote the menu for the restaurant, because the owner did not know the language of the Eastern Empire. Her favorite foods are those made from eggs because she's not a vegetarian like the purebred elves. Whenever she goes to Nekoya, she usually orders a fruit pudding, a soft custard dish mixed together covered with a slightly bitter caramel that always makes Victoria fall in love every time she enjoys them. Even when she leaves, Victoria brings back 4 boxes of pudding and preserves them with a fire to eat gradually. The guests of Nekoya restaurant all had a favorite dish of their own. Even the names of those dishes became their own nicknames. Like the treasure hunter Sarah is called minced cutlet, the white-haired sage Artorias is often referred to as pork cutlet. Today, the knight Heinrich and the treasure hunter Sarah got into an argument about whether the shrimp sandwich was better or the minced cutlet was better. Sarah thinks her ground cutlet is marinated overnight and then deep-fried, enjoyed while still hot. And Heinrich thinks that shrimp with sauce is a perfect combination even when eaten cold. Even the other diners in the Mandarin were caught up in their never-ending quarrel. Princess Adelheid interjected and said a fruit sandwich with ice cream would be perfect. The elf Victoria, who was sitting to one side, heard that and thought that a fruit sandwich with egg tarts would be better. So the whole Nekoya restaurant became a mess, and to solve the problem, everyone ordered what they thought was delicious for each other to try. Customers kept ordering more dishes, so the girl serving Aletta couldn't remember everything. In addition, a new customer will come to order, making her spin like a pinwheel all day. It wasn't until the last customer left that Aletta really had time to breathe. Alphonse Flugel is a talented naval admiral of the dukedom. During a voyage to protect a merchant fleet, his ship was sunk by a sea monster. He washed up on a deserted island and stayed there for 20 years before being rescued by a merchant ship. When he left the island, he still felt something attached to this deserted island without a shadow. It turned out that when Flugel had just set foot on the deserted island and was struggling with monsters, the door of the Nekoya restaurant suddenly appeared in front of him. Once inside, the captain met the cook who was now Mako's grandfather. Mako's grandfather invited the captain to eat a plate of curry rice. That dish captivated the captain, so he left his bag of gold at Nekoya and came to eat here for 20 years on the island. After returning to the mainland, Flugel suddenly remembered that there was once a knight of the east of the continent who used to visit the bar, so he guessed that there was also a door leading to Nekoya. He had been traveling for 3 months to find the door of Nekoya's, and as soon as he entered he ordered a plate of curry rice. During the past 20 years, the dish that saved his life from the first day he landed on the island still retains that charm. Seeing that Flugel was very addicted to curry, Master Mako invited the captain to try his newly cooked chicken curry rice. Flugel was very excited, and when he tasted a piece, the taste of the curry plate exploded in the captain's mouth. Spicy curry served with hot white rice creates a wonderful flavor that makes the captain extremely happy. Flugel couldn't resist ordering another set. At this moment a girl in black appeared. This girl is a black dragon named Kuro that lives on the moon. She is one of the 7 dragons who together defeated the monsters of chaos to bring light and peace to the human world. Since her magic power is a black magic that represents death, weak creatures that come into contact with it will die instantly. So she chose to live on the moon to ensure the safety of the human world. One day, she suddenly saw the door of Nekoya's shop appear and tried to transform into a human and went inside. When she saw Flugel ordering another plate of curry, the dragon girl ordered the same dish as the captain. The two of them ate plate after plate, and by the time the last customer left the restaurant, Kuro was still eating. At this time, the red dragon girl, holding the pot, came in. She still comes every week to get food from Mako's boss. Seeing Hack Long eating in the restaurant, the red dragon girl immediately guessed that this child did not know about paying for meals. So the red dragon told the boss to let Kuro stay as a waitress and pay with meals. The boss heard that and happily accepted, but little Aletta thought she was about to be fired, so she cried. Aletta usually only serves at Nekoya bar every Saturday, so she still goes to her world to apply for a job every day. One day, according to the job application, the girl went to a house to apply for a cleaning job. Unexpectedly, that house belongs to the female treasure hunter Sarah. The two are surprised and happy to meet again in this vast country. Sarah has assigned Aletta to clean and look after the house when she is away. To celebrate Aletta's new job, boss Mako gave her a box of cookies from the bakery on the second floor of Nekoya's. The sweet, milky biscuits made the girl serving them very fond of it. Aletta used the cake sparingly because she thought it was very expensive. One day, Sarah's sister Shia came to find her older sister. As it turns out, Sarah is the daughter of a wealthy Fu Thuong family, but she gave up everything to pursue the path of treasure hunting. When Shia arrived, Sarah was not at home, so Aletta was the one to greet her sister. The girl brought out the biscuits given to her by boss Mako to invite Shia to try, and when she took the first bite, Shia was captivated by the fragrant aroma of flour and milk. The cookies were baked on medium heat with a crispy crust, while the inside was soft and fluffy with black tea cream, making Shia feel very welcome. After eating Aletta's plate of cake, Shia was still hungry, so she asked the maid where it was bought. She took out a gold coin and gave it to Aletta to ask the maid to buy her such a box. Seeing the bewildered maid, Shia shoved the gold coin straight into Aletta's hand, so the maid agreed to buy Shia a box of cookies. Guilhem is a dwarf living in the mountains. Today this bald old dwarf led a friend across the mountains to find Nekoya restaurant. The dwarf friend was feeling annoyed that he was being dragged through the mountains for nothing. Guilhem is trying to convince his friend that coming here will have good food. His friend was suspicious because he thought there was no good food on the mountain. They finally reached a small mountain hut. This was the house that Guilhem had built with his own hands, and inside it was the door leading to the Nekoya. When the two went inside, Guilhem ordered a plate of fried seafood and 2 large beers. The dwarf friend remained skeptical until he took a sip of cold beer. After a journey of climbing passes, wading streams, enjoying a cold beer is the happiest thing in the world. Moreover, the beer here is a better product than the one made by the dwarfs. The 2 old dwarves drank from one cup after another, and Aletta even had to take out 2 giant goblets to pour them beer. When the plate of fried seafood was brought up, the dwarf friend tasted a piece and couldn't believe his eyes that there was such delicious seafood in the mountains. Each piece of soft fragrant squid wrapped in flour fried in oil makes the crust crispy, but the inside is still succulent. Guilhem's friend was overjoyed and forgot all his frustrations along the way. He even excitedly said that he would treat all of this adoration today, so let's eat well. After a big drink, 2 old dwarves woke up inside Guilhem's tent. The dwarf friend decided to build a stone house to replace this rotting tent, and the location of the door leading to the Nekoya was well guarded. This house has become famous and makes a great base for any pedestrian visiting the dwarven town. Tiana Silvario is the 16th queen of the spirit kingdom, located in the middle of a forest of flowers. One day, outside the castle appeared a strange door that made all the inhabitants of the spirit kingdom extremely curious. To find out what was behind the door, the spirit queen and some maids entered the door. They were quite surprised to see that this place was a strange space. Queen Tiana saw the half-elf Victoria and asked her where this place was. Victoria replied that this is a human restaurant, so Tiana asked Victoria to order them something to try. Victoria ordered the fruit double cake because she thought it was most suitable for the spirit race. When Tiana tasted the crust, it seemed pale and had no special flavor, but when it came to the white cream, the queen was surprised. After eating another piece of fruit, their sweetness when soaked in sugar water made Tiana unable to stop eating. At this time, she realized that the bland crust had its own intention. When eaten with cream and fruit, it served as the background to promote the sweet taste of the filling. The accompanying group of maids were also allowed by Tiana to enjoy the fruitcake, and they were all very excited. To thank Victoria, Queen Tiana gave her a rare seed of the land of spirits. After that, every 7 days the whole spirit kingdom was buzzing about what they were going to order this time to enjoy at Nekoya restaurant. One day, after finishing the workday, boss Mako fried a plate of curry cake to invite Aletta and Kuro for dinner. Holding the cake up to the dragon Kuro, she could feel the crispy heat radiating from the crust. The vegetables were mixed harmoniously and stewed until tender. Just taking a bite, Kuro felt the crispy crust and the soft filling that melted in the mouth. The more you eat, the more attractive spicy curry sauce overflows and gradually drowns out the sweetness of the cake. The dish, although not as spicy as chicken curry, it also made the dragon flutter, and the maid Aletta picked it up and ate it deliciously. One afternoon, the sage Artorius brought an elf friend Alexander, who was known as the Holy Sword and was one of the 4 heroes who defended the Eastern Empire against the evil army 70 years ago. The remaining 3 were Saint Leonard, the sage Artorius, and a female knight named Yomi. This hero Yomi has a strength that surpasses the other three, and she is the one who put an end to the war with the evil army. After defeating the demon lord, the female knight Yomi disappeared, and everyone thought she was dead. At this point, the sage Artorius revealed to Alexander that Yomi did not in fact die. 70 years ago she was sent to another world by the demon king, and her master Mako was her grandson. Alexander was quite puzzled because his boss Marco didn't seem like a person who knew how to use magic. Artorius explained that Yomi just wanted her grandchild to be a good cook, not a warrior. When he learned that his comrade Yomi had a full life in this world, Alexander felt a little relieved and together with Artorius enjoyed the delicious cutlet of his master Mako. The movie ends here. Thank you very much. Please subscribe and press the notification button to wait for new videos. Goodbye and see you all again.